Whenever you're ready, take it away.
All right. Well, got another opportunity here at home this week. Excited about that. Homecoming is always a big deal here on campus, and a lot of fun to see all the festivities that goes into it with our students. And I know there'll be a lot of people coming back to campus. Night game. So again, we don't get many of these days. So just every opportunity we get in the Valley is special. I mean, it really is. And just really appreciate our fans and how they've supported us, these last couple of ball games, 2 sellouts, and, looking forward to a great environment and great crowd again Saturday night to welcome a good team in here. It's another undefeated team within our league. So that's 2 weeks in a row we're playing a team that hadn't lost in the conference. So another great opportunity for us to continue to build momentum in our season, especially within our league. So good football team. This is a well-coaced team. That's the biggest thing I can say in watching them on both sides of the ball. This is the number one reason I know how well coached they are is because they play hard. They play hard with great effort on both sides, all 3 phases, and that to me is a reflection of the respect for the coaching that they're getting. I mean, these kids, they're smart, they're fundamentally sound, but they compete their tails off from the first play to the last play, and that's a reflection of their respect for where they are, their coaches, those type of things, and. So it's a team that's they're gonna compete their butts off, and so we've got to match the type of energy and effort that they play with for sure. For them offensively, got a lot of experience up front. It's all about the quarterback. I mean, this kid, he's local here down in Georgia, and very good player. He is one of the better athletes that we're going to see that plays quarterback throughout the year. This kid can run, he can throw, he is, and they do a great job schematically with him. I mean, it's every type of quarterback run that you can design to go along with 3 really good backs. 25, 20, and 26, they're all really good players. 5 hit a big one off the quarterback power read against Syracuse. 20 is a load. He's a young player. You can just see his confidence growing, getting better and better. But it's all about this quarterback. This kid makes them go, man. I mean, he's got some weapons outside. Really, really impressed with all their receivers. Number 13 that's a superstar. He is a great football player. And tight end's a very good player. But just a really good collection of skilled players. They know what they're doing. And again, schematically, they do a great job of really utilizing the gifts of this quarterback. He can move. He can extend plays. Again, they're gonna run him, and then they're gonna boot him all day to try to create some space and create more time for some explosives down the field, and then also create opportunity for him to scramble if something's not there, because he can make a guy miss in space in a heartbeat. So they're going to create some space for him and change the launch point, many times. So really impressive, when you watch these guys and what they're doing. So it's going to be very important for us, obviously, to win up front, but to be very disciplined in how we rush this guy. We got to be very, very disciplined. We got to do a great job on the screen game, and then we got to cover him. So because again, you can't let him sit there and hold the ball. So a lot of challenges that they present. Again, overall, a team that's playing with a lot of confidence. And then on the flip side, defensively, same thing. They're stout up front. They play really hard. They move around a lot. They've shown a good bit of 3 and 4 down, and so. It'd be interesting to see how they're going to play us, and then we've got to do a great job, just like we did last week, in IDing these guys and making sure we're all on the same page. But man, I mean, these guys play. They don't let up. They play from the opening snap to the last play with the same type of effort and intensity. And again, that's something as a coach that you notice. that really jumps out at you. So it's a good football team. Again, they're 3-1 with a lot of confidence coming in here. Tough loss to TCU in a hard-fought game. Could have gone either way. So, but undefeated in our league. So it's a lot at stake. A big opportunity for both teams, and looking forward to the challenge. Got good returners. I think punt returners averaging about 18 something a return. So they present some problems in all three phases, and looking forward to the challenge. Met Coach Taylor just, first time I met him was at the meetings. So other than Zoom calls and all that stuff, he's got a great background, a great track record, and obviously a new opponent for us that we haven't competed in, but excited to welcome Stanford into the league and have a great competition Saturday night.
Hey, Deb, I believe this is just the second time in history that a team from the West Coast has come to Clemson. Does it seem weird playing Stanford in Death Valley? Does that seem kind of weird to you?
Yeah. Is it really just the second time?
Yeah.
Well, who was the other one?
Long Beach State.
Long Beach State. Was that like Chuck Long? Where'd he play?
Iowa.
Oh, well, who am I? I don't know who I'm thinking of. Somewhere out there, Long Beach State. Did he coach there? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so Long Beach State. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, one of my great friends in this business is David Shaw. So I've got to reach out to him this week, and that would have been pretty cool. Back in the day, we used to talk about that all the time. Hey, maybe we'll meet up somewhere down the road. And our wives would go, no, we don't want that. But here we are. So playing. There's a lot of that's the newness of this era of college football. There's going to be a lot of matchups that everybody loved traditionally that you may not see as often, but there'll be some new matchups like this that you'll say, okay, well that's going to be interesting. So this is a true East Coast West Coast matchup.
The guy that you were talking about, 13, IMNR, watching him against Syracuse, uses his body to shield defensive backs, kind of can get a little wiggle in there. Sunday guy.
Oh, no question. Oh, yeah, he's got great ball skills. He knows how to use his body. He's got great influence in his route running. He's elite at his break points and his separation techniques. He's got great drive off the ball. He's got really good body control. I mean, he's a really good player. He's a finisher. He makes contested catches. I think he made a one-handed catch they ran the little stalk and go and in the end zone there, and I don't even think he had to one-hand it. He just went up and one-handed it. So he's a very good player. You better know where he is at all times, and so very impressed with him. But again, 24, 83, 86, 84. All them guys, they're all good players, and then their backs are. It's a good offense. They do a nice job, and they know what they're doing. They're well coached.
They're really good at stopping the run. Is that because they devote numbers to it, or are they just playing sort of base and still stopping?
They mix it up. They do a lot. They do a lot on defense. I think that will be the key for us early on is really, like I said, not just IDing them up front, but doing a good job of IDing how they're going to play us on the back end. But yeah, I think nobody wants to line up and let people run the ball on you. So they're going to do what they've got to do to try to stop the run. And and if what you're trying to do isn't working, then you got to do something else, and that creates opportunities in other areas. So that's the cat and mouse game of football. But it starts with they're freaking tough up front. These guys are thick and strong, and they know how to play. They know how to penetrate, and they move around. So they create some. There's a lot of guys. If you really watch them, they got a lot of unblocked dudes, where they've just created some confusion or miscommunication up front, and guys are popping open. And then they got some twitchy guys too. That number 14, number 23 coming off the edge, 11. Those guys are really good players. They got some speed, and so. It's a good group up front.
Injury-wise, how are Peter and Tyler progressing right now?
They're doing well. They're still day to day, but they're doing well, getting better every day.
I think Peter, just in the availability report that we got pregame, Peter was listed as out for sure, and Tyler wasn't on that. Was he maybe
Yeah,
closer?
he was close. Yep. I think he did pregame, and we're just kind of seeing where he was, and you know, it was good for him to get out there, but he wasn't quite ready, and Peter we knew wasn't going to be available for that one based on where he is. So again, just still day to day, and hopefully he'll be ready to go this week.
Dabo, with the offensive performances from the past 2 wins, is it more about sustaining that level of explosiveness this weekend, or is there something you still want to unlock with this team?
Well, you don't get to carry any touchdowns over, so you got to start over every week, and so it's just really more just creating consistency in our performance. That's really it. That's the next step for these guys, and it was good to see that last week. Against a really tough defense, a team that really prides themselves on defense, and to play like we did. It just says a lot about our guys, where they are mentally, their preparation, their confidence, their really command of what we're asking them to do. Starting with our quarterback. He's playing really well. So it's just about you're not going to score 59 points every game. You want consistent execution. Consistency and not doing the things that beat yourself. Stupid penalties, lining up wrong, not making the layups, inconsistent in making routine plays. And so that's the main thing that we've been doing. We're making the routine plays. We're not having those really dumb penalties. We're taking care of the ball. We've won the turnover margin 2 games in a row, making quarterback, again, continuing to just play with the command that we need him to play. We're not going to be perfect, but we just need consistency. Because if we can create that and continue that, then it's a 3-phase game. You put it all together, you got a chance to be a good football team and have a good year.
Coach, how does your preparation change when you're facing a team that you don't really have a history with versus a team like NC State or someone else that you played year after year?
It doesn't change. It's just still football. It doesn't matter who you play. You play teams, logos every year, but the players change. Now you may have a little more familiarity with just maybe their coaches, the scheme that they play, and those type of things. You got a little bit more familiarity there, but that's what you prepare all week for. At this point, it'd be different if it was an opener or something, but this is. They're 3-1. They've played 4 games, so we've got some tape that we can study, on who they are this year, and everybody's got some tape, and you start to get a little bit of an identity with each team. So it's just football. You just prepare for what they do, but it still always comes back to you and how you prepare and how you go and execute, how you adjust, and winning your matchups. Blocking, tackling, throwing, catching, it's the same.
What did Saturday's film show about the continued growth of this offensive line?
We've played 3 games. They haven't given up a sack. They really, that's a group that creates a lot of challenges that we just played, schematically, and how they ID'd, how we blocked them. Maffa averaged 15-something a carry. We had about 8.2 a carry, 7, almost 8 yards a play. It's just great preparation, great physicality. They're really together up front. And again, we've got some, as we felt coming in, we've got some pretty good functional depth there. We didn't have Tate the other game. Sadler, we didn't miss a beat. We didn't have Sadler this game. Tate's back in. We've got some, you got Harris, we got Trent back. So we've got some guys that can do some stuff for us, and we're developing a couple other guys. So again, hopefully we can just have some good fortune and stay healthy. And if we do, those guys will give us a chance every week. That's a really good group. They take a lot of pride in what they do, and they're just guys that have developed. Progress is, you're just seeing the work that they've put in and gotten better and better. Blake's a 3rd-year starter. Tristan is a redshirt junior. Linthicum's a redshirt junior. These guys take a lot of pride in what they do. Parks is a 5th-year guy, been around here, a lot of battles. We've got some grizzled up dudes So it's they've made good progress each week, and again, we're starting to put it all together in all areas, and our quarterbacks, continuing to just progress, and he'll continue to play at the level he's playing, decision making wise, and being opportunistic with his legs, and just driving the car. We'll have a chance each week.
Kind of broke down that play where Phil scored against App State. Same thing on Cade's run Saturday, that everybody got hatted up. But do you feel like watching Troy Stellato in that play, taking his guy out,
Yep.
do you feel like the wide receivers are blocking better this season
yeah.
downfield than they have?
Yeah, no question. Yeah, they're doing a great job, and they're that particular play it wasn't actually Troy's man. That was an MDM situation. He did a great job of MDM, most dangerous man, and covered that guy up at the point of attack. But it was really blocking. It starts with a decision by Cade. It's not just a quarterback run. It's making the right decision, and then it's running it properly. And that's progress. Similar, different play, but similar. You still got to get inside the kick out and all that stuff. Something he didn't do in our first game, which should have been a touchdown. And you see now how it's just kind of slowed down for him, and he's just becoming a better runner. He's becoming better with the timing and the patience of what he needs to do when he does run it, on how to use his blockers and set them up. He did a great job, and then he pressed Stellado's block, and Troy covered him, and then he just ran away from everybody. He's really fast in the open field. So, it's just, good execution. It's really good execution. Everybody winning their matchup. But the receivers done a great job. The big touchdown. Adam had a great, man-to-man runoff. Wesco had a great man-to-man runoff. Those guys are taking a lot of pride. But that's what I always tell them. The big plays in the run game come from guys straining downfield. Big plays. You can get some good plays. We had another play in the game that should have been a bigger play. It was a good play. It was Jay Haynes. It was a great play, but we had a receiver, a young guy kind of coming off, looking in and telling everybody that it's not a pass, telling everybody, hey, it's run. And so his guy gets an early tell, and he comes and he makes the hit on the running back, as opposed to if we're blowing and going and not giving an early tell, we cover that guy up, and that play might go 40, 50 yards. So it's a good play, 15-yard gain or something like that. So, but big plays in the run game come from strain by the receivers and the tight ends. That's where the big plays come from, especially when you're playing against man coverage. Because if you're playing against man coverage and you're really working like you need to work, and you get eyes away from the ball and things like that, you can create some big plays if you clear that first level.
Yeah, but how's Colin Sadler's calf, and also Wesco and Capehart, how are they doing?
Yeah, all getting better. Colin is going to be day to day, and Wesco is back. He's practicing. He was just a little sore. Probably if we'd had to have him, could have put him back in the game. But we just held him out, and then Cape's getting better every day too.
Hey, Coach, being able to hop out to an early lead these past two games and start mixing in some of the younger players that might not be running with the ones just yet, how beneficial is that to you guys as a team to get those younger guys some live game reps as you head into the thick of conference play?
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. It's frustrating too, because you want to continue to play at a high level, and all of a sudden you're doing some things that shows why they are the backups, or just their lack of experience, and so that, but it's a great opportunity to be able to develop your team. To play as many guys as we've played in these first three games, that's a blessing for us, because we're getting a chance to really coach these guys, like they're starters. We're getting to coach them. We've got a lot of tape on them, and so hopefully that'll be beneficial to us, down the road, because there'll be a few guys that we're really going to need. And some of those guys are really taking advantage of the opportunity, and some others, again, are getting exposed in what they can do, what they can't do, what they don't know, so it gives you a chance to really teach these guys and create a higher level of accountability for them being ready. because you don't ever know when your opportunity is going to come. So you got to be ready. And so it's been good. I mean, that's been a real positive for sure to be able to play so many guys.